prove to us, prove to everybody here, and prove to KT1 they are the team that deserves to go over them to Singapore. So we shall see.
So let's take a step back and just summarize. We've got some new viewers coming. We've got a couple people asking, where are we? What's up with these bands? So let's clarify. So to begin with, it was KT Rolster B who won the other side of the bracket and will be going to IEM Singapore. We are now watching the much delayed Azubu Blaze versus KT Rolster A team matchup. As noted by the scoreboard, KT1, KTA are up 1-0 in what seemed like, at least just judging from match histories because we were casting, a fairly one-sided game to KT Rolster. We are back on the Korean live client, so this is the live patch. So Ezreal's attack speed will not be slowing. Evelynn has the nerfed ultimate, and her core item, you could say, DFG, has been nerfed. This is the patch you've probably been playing on if you're an NA, EU, Korean player. So here we are, and it's Azubu Blaze's tournament life on the line, and we could see the KT Rolster 1-2 punch heading straight to IEM Singapore. But if Azubu told us anything after they lost a fairly one-sided game to MVP White in their last series, it's that form is temporary and class is permanent. I think the Korean Ubs put forward. I believe it's a quote from Bill Shankly from Liverpool fame. So they're going to have to show that class here.
They really are. And right now they've gone funky mode with some of these
Funky
picks.
mode.
They are really...
Fourth pick is Jax.
That's sad.
You had to know that was the case, let's be honest.
Come on, Karma. Alright, no Karma. Very sad. Jax instead. So Jax casting his last few picks there from Azubu. This is our last games of the day as well. Absolute last days.
Augustin asked, Game 2, why? What happened with Game 1? We found out 5 minutes into our cast of...
the last game there?
Of the last game there that this match had started. We could not even transition to it if we wanted to because it was done with all observers off.
Yeah,
so
no specs allowed for that one. So
it was a closed spec game. We did not have that option. And to be honest, stopping a cast in the middle of the game is just not professional to begin with. So This is what we have. We know that KT Rolster is kind of an upset, took Game 1, and we're waiting for Game 2 to get started here.
Yeah, and as Lost Boy there noting in the chat, Karma was in fact Leona. We were told there by the observer. Thank you, Da Vinci, letting us know. Alright, so we should be back in the draft pretty swiftly here. Just waiting for the other Azubu player to join. In fact, Captain Jack is missing. Certainly not the pirate you want missing from the helm of your ship. Alright, we are back.
Karma was Jax.
Yes, it was. Karma was Jax. If anyone was curious. I was
no
certainly
Karma
curious.
top lane, which I have seen in fairly trolly high yellow solo queue games, but I think we all had to know that if it's going to be a Karma or a Heimerdinger Garen, it's probably going to be a
yeah.
A placeholder.
High Elo or solo queue is pretty funny recently, actually, because the season's ending, so we've seen a lot of funny stuff come out. Anyway, the bands are going to be the same here.
Pioneering that revive CV mid lane. It's one of the many fun things you see when everyone feels like their Elo has been locked away.
Yeah, very strong. Alright, so here we are. There's Jax. Jarvan? I don't remember you. Am I misremembering something? That's entirely possible. That is very entirely possible. I am not sure. Alright, Lulu is there. We had Lulu Zara to kick it off. But resets a jungler. Maybe it was Jarvan. Maybe I just missed that one. We'll see. I'm sure I'll know in 25 seconds. Alright, it was Jarvan then. There we are. Kassadin here for Ambition. That's something I'm really looking forward to. Olaf as well. Ezreal. Zara. I can't remember the last pick for KT, unfortunately. There's a Zara. Leona was definitely on the Azubu side as their support, and I'm trying to remember, the mid laner I think was actually Ari, if I recall correctly. But we'll find out soon. Play's taking a little bit of time here, not too sure why. They've made their picks at this point, but who knows. Not the worst.
No, the mid pick was definitely...
Oh, so it's Kassadin, of course.
Zara
So we've got Corki.
versus the Kassadin, yeah.
Yeah. And then we've got Corki, sorry. I think I thought Ari was in there. I was like, no, they didn't AD carry. So there's a Corki. And Aurelia, not Israel. Aurelia there.
That's okay. Hold it together there, pastry time.
We'll hold it, no worries. No worries.
So that's really interesting, that mid lane matchup of Zyra versus Kassadin. I mean, you kind of have to be really confident in both your Kassadin play and the matchup to play Kassadin these days, because although he does hyper carry in much the way an AD carry like Vayne might, the AP equivalent could be Kassadin just because of that ability to reposition with that ultimate. I mean, Zyra has a ranged auto attack that has a nice attack frame. It's very easy to use and harass with and last hit with. And also, when the Rift Walk is at fairly high cooldown, I believe it's 7 seconds at level 1, those slowing plants will be a lot of trade damage for Zyra. So I'm not overly familiar with this matchup, to be honest. Cassidy sees play fairly sparingly, but you're going to have to trust Ambition here. And in a clutch match, picking up Cassidy's matchup, you must know something I don't.
Yeah, and Cassidy is certainly a pick that can be a little bit risky, as you've kind of noted. I do like your observations, though, about Zyra there in that matchup. Certainly early on, Cassidy often struggles. He often has troubles, because he's melee. He's just straight up melee a lot of the time. And those plants could really prove to be a problem, and that grasping roots as well, really keeping him locked down. You can't, of course, Riftwalk out of that either. So potentially some brutal ganks will come in with some of that setup CC as Zyra comes in, driving over the top, and the knock-up as well. They could really chain a lot together and potentially get a kill in Cassidy before he's even able to flash or Riftwalk out. But, you know, that'll take some fairly precise chaining there. Other than that, though, I think the team's decent here, but once Cassidy does get further ahead and gets level 6, I think maybe Zyra's going to have a bit of trouble, because Zyra's biggest strength is keeping people at range and using her good CC, and you can't
it's
really
that
keep
space
Cassidy
control that she offers, you know.
absolutely.
She just has so much space control that it's just deceptively strong. And the other thing that's interesting here is, like, I could understand the Cassidy pickup if you're going to get babysat by the jungle, so a Maokai, or, you know, prototypically one of the champions that Azubu Bland, that Lee Sin there would be a great champions to babysit. But Olaf is a very snowball jungler. It could work out, but it kind of relies on Zyra mispositioning in a position where multiple axes can take her down in the mid lane. So I don't see why that would happen. I'm not sure why Zero would misplay like that, but kind of interesting, kind of relying on that Olaf to babysit.
Yeah, so I'm actually taking a look now at Cassidy's rune page here, so Ambition's page. He's got flat magic pen, 28 AP per level, 15 flat AP, and I think that is health per level seals. Yes, that is in fact health per level seals.
If it adds up to 175, it's definitely health
it
per
does.
level.
And Masters as well, just a quick check. 2109. Surprise. Not really. Pretty standard AP Masteries there for Ambition. Over on the other side here, Zero. What is Zyra going to be running into this one? Runes up right now. Almost exactly the same. Actually has armor seals. So it has the magic pan, has the flat AP, has the magic the AP per level, sorry, on the glyphs there. But does in fact have armor seals, which is quite interesting.
That does reduce Olaf's axe damage if he does come in with that axe spam, which you expect will be maxed given that he's in the jungle.
And interesting mastery choices here. We normally see this mana regen being picked up and really valued, and Zyra's mana pool is actually quite small. One of her disadvantages is she's got not a whole lot of regen, got a very small mana pool, so if you spam a little bit too much then you can run out of mana, but 4 points in that swiftness there for the 2% movement speed.
Maybe that means the early chalice.
That's true, that could be. That would be a really nice pickup there. Would make a lot of sense with those masteries as well. Something I'm liking to do now. I'm going to check these support masteries, in fact, to see how we're going for gold. 5, 11, 14 for Lulu. With a bit of AD, actually. That's very cute. Ooh, and extra tower damage. That's funky.
I like how you have these deep cuts of observation. You're just checking for those 1-point masteries that you don't expect, like the increased turret damage.
That's awesome.
Demolisher, I think it's called.
Yes,
or something
it is
like
Demolisher. That is the exact name.
I know, because I look at it and don't skill it every time.
And we'll go over check on Last Boy. What's Leona got? Probably a bit more defensive. But yeah, Lulu pretty deep in utility there as well. Oh, alright. So Leona 0, 15, 15. Something that's also quite standard. Ooh, extra experience on assists. I like it. Kills and assists, actually. I think that's
spicy.
Sage or something like that. That's one of the wonky names. But yeah, bit of extra experience. Leona, as you said, a support that definitely scales very nicely with level Smithy. So we'll see. That could be a factor. I mean, I think those two things actually, they're really cute for me. The extra experience there for Leona says, I want to be aggressive. And the little Demolisher there from Lulu says, I want to be pushing you. And what have we seen both those champions do? Leona likes to be aggressive, and Lulu, she kind of loves to push. So it's actually been really sweet to kind of note those little things. It's nice to check, what the players are doing and see what's up.
And as we see some viewers come in here, we've hit the 7K mark again. We just want to say we are so excited to bring you this game here. Azubu Blaze, it's the team everyone wanted to see. It's on the name on everyone's lips. This is the marquee team. They did replace Type A Assassins as the only team with a buy in this bracket, so they are kind of the marquee team. But their backs are up against the wall. We were not able to bring you Katie rolls to A versus Azubu Blaze. After all the delays, we went to another game. But Katie Rolston, what you'd have to say is an upset, picked up that first game. So Azubu Blaze, the back's on the line. They need to win this one, and they responded so well in a similar situation against MVP White earlier, and played just out of their skins to win 2 games in double quick fashion, and it's up to them again.
Yeah, it almost felt like that first game, they felt it out, they said, okay, what's going on? And then, after that, they just downloaded their enemy and just completely knew exactly what was going on in this next
And look
2
at
games.
this exclusive vision of the enemy race there with a pink ward put down at level 1. Very interesting.
Yeah, so we could see some shenanigans around that area as we see the ZB players still kind of hanging out here on the blue side. They are your blue team for what potentially is our last game here. Second game here, though, in this best of 3. See Helios.
Don't let Azubu Blaze hit that pastry.
No. Thankfully, they're 3 minutes into the future, so they can't. But Helios is going to be our jungler. It's going to be Olaf there. Flame is going to be playing on Jax, the newest member of Azubu Blaze as well. Of course, you'll all remember Reaper, and a lot of you will know Shy as well, who subbed for them at the recent MLG event. But Flame is their new official permanent top laner, and he's been playing quite well recently, although we've seen him play nothing but Aurelia in the last few. So Jax is
Do you reckon he will chance his arm at picking up that red at level 1?
I'm not sure, but he tried it before.
He's posturing for it?
Maybe.
I believe he failed the same red buff pickup at OGN, the chat was saying. So, third time's the charm?
I think that was Flame, not Vitamin, though. Don't think Vitamin had the same
That's
problem.
a good point, sorry. Yes, you are right.
Ambition here in the mid, going to be playing Cass.
I totally spaced on that, but you are right. Let's see how Vitamin goes, because Flame did not get the hang of this.
Captain Jack, of course, and Lost Boy there to complete the bottom lane. As we see the rest of KT coming now for this red buff. Ooh, reset. That's a bit awkward. Actually, not quite yet. No, it didn't reset. Just got leashed a bit awkwardly there. But nice job there, and there's a steal. Reset gets
Aurelia
it.
uses her Ignite, getting low.
Oh no. Vitamin, don't do it. Don't be that guy. Ignite's been used. One more hit. He does it. Oh man. Aurelia.
Interesting that he picked up the E first. Maybe that's the secret.
Maybe. Oh,
You just know
Helios.
You just know Flame's watching the replay of this one and working out what skill to pick up because he hasn't had any luck at all.
No. And that's kind of the thing. I mean, a lot of people are excited about Aurelia's prospects as a jungler potentially, but she just does not jungle all that well. So it's very nice to have that red buff if you're on the red side early on to help out your top lane. Or your top lane goings on, your top lane landing. Oh, trouble for Zero. Blue buff here for Zyra very early on. Seeing lots and lots of buff donations here. Are we going to see... No. Ezreal's in mid right now. I assume he's just getting CS. Because he knows that Zyra's not there. Jarvan got the enemy red. Jarvan has no other major buffs to take. And Lulu's down the bottom. I'm assuming Hero is going bottom. But I've known that when watching teams, it is very wrong to often assume anything.
The shenanigans begin.
They are beginning. Zero's level 1.
You'd have to say.
Oh, I see what's happening. Because it's actually a duo mid lane. All this time I'm like, what's going on with KT? And the Azubu Blaze have already swapped. Kassadin's bottom right now. He's going to be up against, yeah, Ezreal Lulu. Trouble in Paradise. Zero takes a bit of damage. Zyra not all that happy. But he has blue buff, which I guess is why they gave it to her. And now two down here as well. Helios is actually down the bottom right.
He's got no buffs to take, so he's just doing a bit of laning.
Bit of pushing, yeah, why not? And Zero takes even more Frosted Bomb harass there. Corky's really laying into Zero right now. He's pretty happy he's got a few extra potions stocked up. But yeah, just using that blue buff, trying to farm from range. So this could be quite good here against Zyra. Up in the top lane, meanwhile, Vitamins is pushing in onto Flame. It's funny though, Flame is a very well-known Aurelia player. We saw a lot of Aurelia from him recently. So he will know, he'll know this champion, but whether he knows this specific matchup, we're not sure.
It's a fairly common one, you have to say.
Yeah, I've been seeing a little bit more play recently. As always, Jax has unique interactions with every different bruiser. Because
the skill cap here is whether Aurelia is able to stun Jax when he starts to try and use his counter-strike. Because if you can stun him and kite that counter-strike, then you're just in a very, very good spot as Aurelia. And in a similar way, the moment that Aurelia uses that hit 10 style, Jax wants to negate as much of that damage as possible. So it's a very much a skill matchup, but Vitamin has to feel pretty confident when he's running the red buff, although it has just timed out.
Yeah, that red buff certainly giving a nice leg up there for Vitamin early on. Ambition takes so much harass here. So it looks like KT, they want to find their dual lane wherever Kassadin is, and they're swapping back in. Azubu Blaze are doing it again.
They do not have the globals this time to abuse them quite as much, though.
No, they don't. Nice attempt there on a gank there from Lost Boy. And up in the top, looks like Vitamin's actually getting manful. It's like, no red buff, fine, I'll try and kill you. And actually turn around, there's Equilibrium Strike, Ignite, Blade Surge, attack, one more auto, flash out from Flame, Leap Strike, he does it! First blood, but there comes Jarvan to clean up the next kill. And that was close. That was tight, but really nice play there from Flame in the end.
And all these Jaxes today making the superstar plays, getting the ultimate last hits, but Prince Jarvan was not having any of it.
No, making sure to at least clean up the extra kill there. But we have seen some stellar Jax play today, you are right. And this is going to get pushed in now for Reset. Gonna, you know, have a little bit of lane CS, actually out of mana. Which is a bit unfortunate, but you know, he'll just last hit as best he can. While Aurelia is absent from the lane. So I guess 50, wow. I just kind of looking through the CS, I was like, what's going on with all these swaps? And it's that Captain Jack, as always, last hitting so well. He's got himself quite a nice lead here against Hero early on, 53 to 31.
A farmer for all occasions, Mr. Captain Jack.
Yeah, I mean, I almost want to see, like, oh, never mind, in the mid
wall.
wall.
Huge. Yeah, it's a wall. Probably going to survive, yeah?
A lot of damage. Just little answers away. But yeah, that Phosphorus Bomb, Corki's burst, man. So insane. And Leona in there as well can just create a lot of havoc here, especially when they both hit. Well, Leona hit 6 in particular. Corki not so much, although the missiles do help. Ooh, axe over the top there from Helios. That's quite cute. Throwing it over the top there. Taking the Wraith Camp as well while he's there. So Olaf jungle, not too bad. And now actually doing a lot of the pushing. Ooh, nice axe there onto wall. More potions.
Bit of a love tap.
Yeah, a bit of a love tap. More potions though for wall. He's actually got no Fairy Charm. So I assume had a few extra potions or maybe a few extra wards there to start it off. But no Fairy Charm for Lulu. Gonna delay that GP10 a little bit more. And out of potions as well. That was kind of the important thing. Oh, Reset over in the mid. Really nice double flag combo there. And Captain Jack gets obliterated there as Lulu picks it up. And now Lost Boy in a bit of trouble. Hero, though, getting kited there. Great Zenith Blade, and Helios picks it up and flashes out. So that's the Yona that's flashing out. Helios still chasing in. Reset, though, trying to chase after Lost Boy. Wants to get this kill, and he is going to get it. How much longer can Lost Boy live? Not much longer? No, there we are. Jarvan's going to clean that up. And Helios in mid will be safe now. Again, just continuing to find lanes to push.
The chain CC of Reset in there with the very well timed polymorph from Lulu there. Just too much. Even with the flash up, Captain Jack couldn't make the evasive maneuvers.
No, and has no flash as a result. Corki with Flash Valkyrie usually feel pretty safe. Not so much this time around. Really nice chain CC as he pointed out, Smithy. So secures that kill there. Really beautiful. Just lining up with a flag toss there for Jarvan as well. Just catching both AD and support in the mix there. Really, really nice.
Good observation from chat here, though. Very, very healthy farming coming out from the Zubu foot, of the Zubu Blaze here.
And that's a lot of what we seem to see from them when they do a lot of these back and forth swaps. You know, we saw something on the order of about 6 lane swaps. No exaggeration at all. Like, actually no exaggeration. Something like at least 6 lane swaps in their game between MVP White. In their second game, in fact. Well, they came back to win.
And it was those globals that really gave them the advantage there, because in the midst of all the swapping, a Stry ward catches someone out, bam, TF, Nocturne were able to show their presence. This game, no globals.
No, but also in that game, they also farmed very well. And that is a lot of Azubu's strength. They have incredible mechanics for all their players. They farm so well. I mean, Captain Jack right now, still 20 CS ahead. Jax, 15 CS ahead. And mid lane as well. Actually, that's ahead for Zyra. But still, they're all farming really well, despite swapping. You know, it can get difficult. You're swapping back and forth. You're out of lane for longer than you normally are, but making sure your mechanics are good, you get the last hits when they count, when you can. Very, very important, and that really is the strength of Azubu Blaze that we're seeing right now.
So the AP champions have transitioned back to mid to pick up the blue buff.
A lot of damage here. Jarvan coming in as well, but Ambition, yeah, he gets out of the way with the roof walk, and Helios could get caught in there. But Ragnarok going to deny all the CC, but they've got burst. Ambition, though, goes back on to 0 and is going to pick up the kill. I think Zarya wanted to die in a... I think she knew she was going to die and wanted to die somewhere where she could try and kill Ambition with that passive if Jarvan went in, but not to be this time around. So a nice trade there as both junglers come into the mid lane. True-shot barrage. A little bit of a love tap there for Ambition, but nothing too major.
One thing we can say, though, is that Reset here on Jarvan, continuing his aggressive playstyle on junglers. I mean, he did have 3 respect bans come out from his Zubu Blaze here, but he's got the snowball going, and Jarvan not very good at clearing the jungle without, you know, the Madra's Razor at a minimum. You can build the GP10 items, but then you just completely rely on your ganks. 3-0-1, he kind of has his pick of early game jungle items, and we'll see what he decides.
Yeah, he's got a cloth armor and a Madra's right now, so feeling pretty good about his early clues so far. Jarvan definitely a jungler that likes to get ahead. I mean, he's very aggressive, capable of some very nice level 2 ganks. In fact, he's going to set up here in the top lane now. It's lane gank time. Ooh, I don't know if Flame saw that. I don't think he did. He knows now, though. Yeah, gets out of the way. Jarvan though, he's committing. Mainly just here for a bit of moral support, it seems like. Making sure Aurelia doesn't get too far behind, but Olaf's here as well. Maybe 2v2 action here in the top lane, who knows. But Jarvan is in the business of backing up. There he is, going to recall. And Olaf's back there as well, so Helios decides against it. Over back now down in the bottom lane. CS still looking good for Captain Jack. Actually approaching, yeah, he's 30 CS ahead, or 30 CS plus right now. Using these, you know, these burst-oriented carries to really just bully people out of their lanes. And Ezreal just not quite the same as he used to be. Has some okay bursts, but certainly not on the order of Corki or Graves. And can't.
No, and despite that early death, really bossing around bot lane in much the same manner we saw him against MVPY, and that's just the power of Captain Jack. You know exactly what you're going to get out of him when you just read his name on the team list.
Yeah, you're going to get incredible CS and just a lot of very strong mechanics in bottom lane. And there's Dragon actually. Ooh, Drizzle Barrage will attempt it, but Helios collects it with a smite. And very aggressive there from Azubu. They pick up the first real objective in this game. That's going to be Dragon. Captain Jack again continuing to play aggressive here. Could get himself caught out here. Leona is chilling in the bush. But we've got a decent amount of CC. We saw how deadly the CC chain was. And they are going to go in. Oh my goodness, Lost Boy goes in, but that's a great arcane shift and reset in there as well. They're going to try and pick up Lulu. Cataclysm comes out from Jarvan. And there's the Solar Flare in there as well. And I think that is going to be the kill, and there it is. So really nice bait there from bottom lane. And reset comes in, perfect timing there. Able to clean up that support, but Zyra getting caught out of it here. Ambition will bet roots up, he gets out of the way, and Zyra throws the ult as she runs away.
Seems like a very, very even matchup in trades, which you have to say favors Caston, because if he's able to farm an even sniper kill, you really fancy him late game. There's such an amazing anti-carry, that Caston.
He is very, very
even
scary.
Or better is very happy times for Caston.
Yeah, and that's a lot of this, you know, I guess hyper carry champions. They really do like to be at least even, and better is just gravy most of the time. We talk about Kog'Maw a lot, you know, he's definitely an even or better style champion. So Caston pretty happy right now. Got Catalyst and a Doran's Blade as well. Sorcerer shoes up now. Actually looking top lane maybe for a gank here. This is quite nice. Caston and Jerome very strong with that Riftwalk. Yeah, he is looking. He's powering up the Riftwalk now as well. In fact, Azubu.
And that's why Flame's playing so aggressive here. It looks like he's proxying just to proxy, but
yeah, damage coming out now as well. Good slow onto Vitamin. The silence is coming out. There's the flash. Transcendent Blade's not enough. And Flame there with the last auto attack cleans it up, and Reset comes in now as well.
Reset needs to be very careful.
Could be in trouble, but Zero now getting caught out as well as Olaf comes through the jungle. Nice flash there from Zero, but keep running, Dara, keep running. You're in a lot of hurt right now. Flash forward from Ambition with the Riftwalk, and Reset's going to come in to try and protect him, but here comes Flame for the sandwich. Captain Jack gets a kill down the bottom as well on Ezreal. And there's the Riftwalk, just slowing people down. Reset in a little bit of trouble. Zyra does die, there we go. Ignite will tick her down, and that's going to be yet another kill here onto Reset. And Azubu Blaze making us look silly. We thought we were maybe looking at a 2-0 here as KT took the first game, but...
Okay, speak for yourself, Pastry Time.
But in Azubu Blaze fashion,
it feels like they start off every series with those tried and true strategies, and if they don't work, they start bringing out their whoppers one by one.
Yeah, it is slowly bring out the Azubu Blaze strats. Leona's actually very low here from blue buff, but Captain Jack comes in, saves the day, and of course collects himself on blue buff. It's going to be very nice for him. Corki definitely loves to spam out those spells if he can. So he's a happy camper.
So those early kills, that Cassidon Snowball, is being accentuated here as able to freely invade and take buffs away. Things looking very, very good for Azubu Blaze this game.
Yeah, no out of turrets even been taken out already. Just pure control, pure roam really from Cassidon. And it's a great bit of fun from Azubu. Blue's now going to get a Cassidon on their side, so that's nice for Azubu. Ambition very happy to pick that one up. Just waiting for the right time to burst, and there we are. So Blue picked up now. In terms of CS in the mid as well, 83 to 87, more than fine for Cass. 126 to 92 as Hero catches up a little bit down in the bottom lane, and 112 to 75. Jeez, Flame is really taking a lead in that lane as well.
And it seems to be that double-edged sword for KT Rolls to A here. They're behind in a lot of lanes, and you want to say, hey, just farm it out, you know, slow down, don't worry about it. You can go to late game, but I mean, Jack's late game, Olaf late game, Cassidon especially late game. Massive, massive late game presence from Azubu here, so it's almost panic stations at the 15-minute mark.
Yeah, and we don't really like to call anything this early, but it's not looking good. Panic stations is a great phrase there to describe what's going on. And damage there coming out onto Zero. That Undertow actually doing a nice little chunk as well. And this is kind of what I was saying about this matchup. You know, Zyra can't really escape Kassadin once he gets at this point. He's just able to rift walk straight in her face, and all the range in the world is not going to do a whole lot. The hero takes a lot of burst damage in there as well, but it's all bait as Reset comes in. He looks there, but Cash flashes out of the way, and Helios now the victim of the Cataclysm. Arena time for Jarvan, and Helios takes a lot of damage. In fact, I think he's going to go down. He will, it's close, no! He lives somehow, and Reset looks for it, but Ambition with perfect timing picks up Hero. There's the wild growth from Lulu there to protect Zero. And Jarvan is going to live in there as well, no, never mind.
Solos Aurelia up top.
Yeah. And Ambition just kiting back and forth, using that mobility, picking up kills where he can. Jarvan dead as well as Captain Jack picks that up. And Azubu really opening up this second game here. They were not content with going out 2-0.
What is it about Azubu players in game 1 pastry time?
I don't know. They just hate game 1s. They don't like it. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but they are really ripping ahead here in this first game. Or second game even.
So we've had a lot of people join us. We're at 10,600 viewers. To recap, this is the last game or set of games in the IEM Singapore qualifiers. In the other side of the bracket, the brother team to KD Rolls to A, who you see on the red side here, KD Rolls to B, qualified for IEM Singapore. At this present point, we're in game 2 of Azubu Blaze, they are your blue team, against KD Rolls to A, they are your red team. KD Rolster, in a bit of an upset, picked up the first game, and right now, Azubu Blaze, you'd have to say, in the driver's seat 17 minutes in.
Absolutely, looking really good here as we go into this one. Ambition still with that blue buff, just pushing down the lanes right now. All left, look at him bottom. So I'll still keep that Oracle as well, that was a very key thing about Helios living there. Jarvan almost got the kill. Even looked pretty deep under the turret there to try and pick it up, but couldn't close the deal. And that Oracles are still floating around for Olaf now, just being a nuisance.
And it seems like all of Reset's good work, which has been a trend across all KT Rolls to A's game. You'd have to say Reset just been on a tear this whole tournament, and ever since we had the pleasure of starting to cast him. But seems like it's all going to be in vain.
Nice solar flare from Lost Boy there. Captain Dax just dishing out the damage right now, and oh my goodness, Ambition, I just saw his item. Look at this. Oh, Snowball if there falls. Want a statement of intent as well. Ambition, can you pick up your first Magi stacks? No, not quite. Oh, Reset though, he could be food right now. It could be bad news. There's Demacia. Arena comes out. Cataclysm will fall. Ambition does go down there, but Captain Jack over the top picks up Zyra. Oh, he's caught a little bit now. Oh, the plant. A lot of damage, but Lost Boy flashes forward with the stun, and Jack flashes out. The heal in there as well for Corki. And Aurelia might even die here. Vitamin taking a lot of rockets to the back. But it's okay. For Flame,
all
oh my
this time,
goodness.
Flame up the top, pushing.
He is working on some sort of marathon right now in the top lane.
The Observer told us to look out for Flame's Aurelia and Nidalee, but his Jax is no slouch.
No, looking pretty good right here as well. And he's just going to get damage onto this inhibitor turret. Wow. In fact, it's going to get quite low here potentially. And Jax, here's a split pusher if there ever was one.
He's got his Trinity Force up. He's not worried about kiting these people.
No, not at all. He did a...
And this is such the state of the game, is that he's like, hey, I could do another minion wave.
And Captain Jack again now low. True Shot Barrage comes in. Oh, that picks up Dragon, but Captain Jack, he will fall. But it will not be the
very
last.
overdue return kill for Hero there.
Oh, hello. We just jumped up to 9,000 viewers. Greetings, friends. Glad of you to join us. You picked the right time, that's for sure.
The Azubu Blaze, they bring the viewers.
Yeah, and this is the last match as well, the last best of 3.
Originally, we intended to bring you this game, looking at the clock, about 7 hours ago. It's been delayed, but oh boy, as the snowball continues for Ambition here.
Magi's, he just wants all the stacks. Oh, beautiful juke there at the solar flare. But not enough there against the Cassinibus. Rod of Ages up as well.
It's already efficient, basically.
It's got Rod of Ages as well. This, oh man. Everything is getting well out of hand right now for KT1.
So what do you think for KT Rolls 8? They won the first game quite handedly. 19 minutes 40 in, they're going to be thinking about, hey, do we have a chance here or is it surrender time? What's your take?
They're going to fight it out, I think. I mean, it's hard to say actually. Reset, they're taking more damage. Ambition wants to pad his Magi's. He needs more stacks, he needs to learn more. He needs to grow his book. Ambition stopped juking?
Ambition just waited his cooldown there. Very coolly played. And there's the surrender.
Oh wow, okay. So never mind, looks like KT do want to preserve their mental strength here. And that's going to be straight to our last game for the day. We only have one